I'm Tracy Baxter with this edition of Record Newswatch. Police in the Rockland County community of Spring Valley face the challenge of handling the crush of news media representatives who gathered this morning outside First Baptist Church on Hoyt Street, the location of today's funeral service for LaShandra Armstrong of Newburgh, the 25-year-old mother who drove her minivan into the Hudson River last week, killing herself and 3 of her young children. The original plan was to have funeral services at the church today for the children as well. But yesterday, Jean-Pierre, the father of the children, released a statement saying he'd decided to hold a separate private funeral service for his children on Monday at a funeral home in Spring Valley. Pierre also said despite the couple's past difficulties, he did not want to be blamed for the tragedy. Following today's service, LaShandra Armstrong was to be buried at Brick Church Cemetery in New Hempstead. Reporters Doyle Murphy and Adam Bosch will have complete coverage of the funeral, including comments from friends and loved ones. Their stories, including pictures from the church and the scene, will be available here at Record Online and in tomorrow's edition of the Times-Herald Record. In other news, this was the scene back on March 7th. Heavy rain triggered flooding that washed out a section of Route 211 in the town of Mount Hope near Otisville. It forced the closing of 211 and traffic had to be detoured, and it's been detoured ever since. Now, 6 weeks later, some local residents and business owners are getting frustrated that repairs have yet to be made. Brian Noyes owns Pizza Mania in Otisville near the detour site. He says the closing Route 211 connecting Otisville with Middletown has adversely impacted his bottom line.
It's taken a lot of money out of our pockets because our, stop and go traffic that conveniently goes inside and outside of Middletown is no longer here, and we just depend on our, our steady customers, which we value highly, and the fact that we deliver. It's a main road. It should be something that should be attended to, immediately, and not have to sit and wait and sit and, dormant like it has been for over 6 weeks.
Mount Hope Town Supervisor Bill Novak says the state DOT needs to get a DEC permit to construct a double culvert underneath the road in order to alleviate the pressure that comes when water from the Shawanga Creek tributary runs high. As for when the project will move forward, Novak says the state has given him no timetable. A registered sex offender from the town of Newburgh now faces 3 additional felony charges after he moved without telling authorities. 42-year-old Arthur Wilburn, a man considered a high-risk sex offender with a sexual predator designation, had been living in the town of Newburgh for several years, but he moved and his whereabouts were unknown until police in Connecticut arrested him on drug charges. Wilburn was sent to Orange County Jail without bail pending a town court appearance tomorrow. New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand wants the Air Force to double the number of C-17 aircraft that are due to be assigned to the Stewart Air Guard base beginning in July. 8 of the state-of-the-art military aircraft are scheduled to arrive at Stewart's 105th Airlift Wing, but because the planes are smaller, the switch from the larger C-5A aircraft could mean the loss of 250 maintenance jobs. Gillibrand says the Air Force has plenty of the C-17s, and assigning more to Stewart could allow the local base to be used to its full potential and save those jobs that are now in jeopardy. And Hudson Valley Congressman Maurice Hinchey was in the town of Wallkill this afternoon to voice his opposition to a series of changes within the nation's health care system that he says would leave millions of senior citizens without adequate care. Hinchey told seniors at the town's community center that the Republican budget plan would eliminate Medicare and replace it with a voucher program, a move that would force seniors, he says, to buy private health insurance. That, according to Hinchey, would increase the average yearly out-of-pocket health care cost for seniors from $6,000 to $12,500. Hinchey also says the GOP plan would dramatically cut prescription drug coverage, nursing home care, and assisted living. The federal budget proposal passed in the House last week, but is not expected to make it through the Senate. Sounds like we are heading into an Easter weekend that'll be dominated by clouds and rain. As for tomorrow, we'll have some sunshine in the morning, then clouds move in later in the day. The highs Friday will be up around 60 degrees. Saturday will be cloudy with showers likely. Temperature readings will only get as high as the upper 50s. When news breaks, you will find it here at Record Online. And for a complete look at all that's happening here and elsewhere, pick up tomorrow's edition of the Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.